So just a brief reminder of this project. So the goal of this project is to develop methods or approach to improve hydrogeological modeling and characterization. So, and our hope is to help professionals and scientists involved in hydrogeological assessment. So this project consists in 3 main activities, which are essentially carried out by PhD students. So the first project is understanding environmental flows by Lamela Armola, modeling groundwater flow through artificial intelligence, which is a new project, and high resolution aquifer characterization or testing with NFC. So the first project, so the goal of this project is to better understand the environmental flows, which include the water volume, but also temperature, and especially during the period of recession, but I'm not talking about economics here, but really when the water level in the river and the aquifer are pretty low. And this is applied to a very sensitive watershed in the Quebec province, where during summer, we observe extremely low river water level and also pretty high temperature in the river, which is an issue for fish and fish habitat in this region. That's the general framework of this study, but briefly, so the first steps, we are building a couple surface water and groundwater model using hydrogeosphere, which is one of the gold standard in couple modeling. And then we are also in the process of developing a calibration procedure for the low flow period to really capture the dynamics of this really important period. And once this model was calibrated, we're going to extract which are the more important parameter that control those recessions. So that's going to help to really understand what can be done in the future to help in that way. And the model will be coupled to a thermal model to simulate the water in the river. So so at this stage, we are really at the end of building the 3D model, so that the stratigraphy, the geological information in surface is pretty complex. So we try to integrate all this information in the model, because also the surface geology, it's probably a really important control on the base flow. So we have issue with upscaling the information from the geology, but we are almost at the stage of running a first model. But so a collaboration with the INRS and also with the Ministère de l'Environnement du Québec, where we have a lot of discussion in the past about this project. Sorry, and publication or presentation of the preliminary result at a conference during the last summer. So the second project, so the research question in this project was, can we replace a conventional physical groundwater flow model with artificial intelligence? So that is the main topic of the thesis of Xiao. So the objective of this project, so I won't go in detail, but the first objective is to really to develop the framework. So the framework to translate a physical model into a learning machine. So that is something that it's new. So we really have to need to engineer this process, and then once will be done, we train and optimize the network with a real physical model, which is going to be calibrated with the observation, and then find a way to transfer this knowledge learned from one specific watershed to other surrounding watershed. So that's, I would say, a pretty ambitious project, but it can be rewarding in the future. so yeah, in the current stage, so we are really in the process of translating the physical model into the learning machine. So just a picture of what can all looks like a neural network. So we are really working on the algorithm and the programmation of all the codes involved. So collaboration with the INRS. Also, Tassel received a scholarship from Ivado this summer. Also won for his work. Second place for, sorry, for our presentation for a conference hosted by Mila in Montreal.
Appetizer of some sort before this year?
So the last project is high resolution aquifer testing. So the motivation of this project was because we think that there's a clear need for a better method to define the heterogeneity of the aquifer. So for example, when we are involved in aquifer remediation, knowing our fracture or high conductivity layer, sand layer are connected together. So we need a better method to image this. So the objective of this project is to evaluate a new technique, which is called multi-frequency testing or periodic testing. So the principle is pretty simple. So we generate various hydraulic stress in the aquifer. For example, it can be a sinusoidal stress where we can control the amplitude and the frequency of the period of the signal, and we measure the aquifer response at different locations in the aquifer. So the idea is that each response to a particular period contains different information about the structure of the aquifer. So by combining all those responses together, we can get a better picture of the aquifer. So this project, it's almost done. So the first scientific contribution that we are about to make, it's the demonstration of the feasibility of this technique in the real field condition. So with our colleague in France, Université de Rennes, we developed a method to produce periodic signal in the well. So essentially, it's pretty simple. It's just a rod that it put into the well, which is connected to a winch, which is computer driven, so we can control all the signals. So, and on the right we have a sorry, we have an example. So the blue dots are observation on the well at different location. So that's an example. So, and the second contributions, we also made a demonstration that the approach, this approach, the multi-period or the periodic approach, is far superior to a conventional slug test or iron pump test. So by combining like 3 or 4 periods together, we can have a better idea of how the different geological layers are connected together. So collaboration with INRS and Université de Rennes, and we are in the process of publishing 2 new paper on that subject. So thank you.